Hello, collective. This is Goddess Renixir in for another rune reading. Bear with me. This is a lot. I still don't have a phone fan. Hopefully, I can get one soon. This is a lot, and I'm still learning how to read these runes. But let's see if I can get the gist of it. Always, too, I don't catch everything in the reading because, again, like I said, there's a lot, and you can take everything in a different way. You can read it in a different way and I don't catch everything. I think it's impossible to, but anyways, let's start. Let's start with the dice first. With Algiz, we have Algiz in the upright, Algiz, Berkana in reverse, and Fehu in reverse. Algiz is about protection. It represents the elk sedge, and the elk sedge has thorns on it. So with so what I'm getting is there's in and it grows in the swamp. So then it's what I'm getting is that somebody set a strong boundary. It was hard to distinguish what Algiz meant with Berkana being in reverse and Fehu, because I was like, how can you take this in a positive way? But then I got an insight from another reader that somebody has set some strong boundaries, and then therefore it's creating a disruption in a family, and somebody is losing materials. Somebody could be losing something that is of value. Berkana is a spring rune. It represents fertility, growth, renewal. I mean, in the spring, what do? What do you see? You see flowers blooming, the trees are coming back to life. Fehu is abundance and wealth. So, with somebody presenting a strong boundary, it is creating a disruption in a family setting where there is material loss. When we come to the cards, let's do the cards with the gold and the white on them. We had Uruz, which Uruz is vital energy. It's about being strong and powerful. Anzus is divine. It's spiritual. It represents Odin, the god Odin. It could also mean being creative within song and poetry, craftsmanship. Ewaz or Ewaz is about, it represents the yew wood, and the yew wood is Yule tree is a mythological tree. So again, this is more of a spiritual thing. Also, too, yew wood could be. I read in one of my rune books that the yew wood could represent, could be used as a poison to off people. Also, too, the yew wood is used in making bow and arrows. So it could represent also too, like somebody having a target on them. And then Rido is movement. It's a journey. It could be a material or spiritual journey. It represents the will. It represents moving forward or backwards. It's movement. It's a journey. So what Uwu's right here is, I see this paired with Anzus because these two colors right here. This is upright. Some type of spiritual power is being um, is is coming. There's some type of spiritual. There's some type of spiritual vital energy, some type of spiritual. It's what did I say before? I think it was divine intervention. There's some type of divine intervention that is bringing an end to somebody's material or spiritual journey. Also, too, what I got with Algis, I totally forgot. But Algis also, too, can mean that I read in one of my books that it could mean some type of magical power. But let's get back. Let's get back to the cards. There's some type of divine intervention, and it's the when divine gets involved, it's putting an end to something. So the will is not in favor of somebody. Now with the other cards, well, we have Theresa's right here, and Theresa's it also too represents the thorn, like Algis. So it also could mean somebody being isolated. And oh yeah, somebody being isolated within a family, right? Because we have Othello here, which is inheritance, land, and an ancestry. So there's some type of isolation within a family, and therefore it's bringing on some type of emotions with a goose. Yeah, some type of emotional despair for somebody. So then let's go into with Algis paired with Urus and Theresas. With the strong boundary that somebody has created, it's given them energy. It's given them personal strength. But then also you're making enemies too. You've also made enemies because they don't like this new type of energy and new type of boundary that you had put up. With Berkana in reverse, with Anzus upright and Iwas in reverse in Othala. Again, with Othala, you have your ancestors protecting you with Anzus too. So you have divine and your ancestors putting an end to a family dispute, a family issue. There also could be an end to tradition, a family, some type of spiritual tradition within a family is coming to an end. Because Othala could be traditional family values. There's an ending here to a spiritual traditional family. Here again, here what we have with Fehu in reverse, Rado in reverse, and Lagus upright. This material abundance, this material wealth that has been lost, it puts somebody in some emotional distress, and therefore they cannot move. They're stuck. Their journey is over. What they were trying to do has put them in some type of emotional distress, and without money, without some type of material gain. Also, Berkana and Fehu, this is a feminine energy. It represents feminine energy. So a feminine energy could also be with it reverse, with both of these reverse. It could mean that somebody is battling some type of health issue. A feminine energy, I meant, excuse me. With Algis represents September, the month of September. And I read further on into understanding, because there's a lot of information. Because the runes also represents months, seasons, masculine and feminine energy. So Algis could be is a masculine energy. So a masculine energy has put up a boundary, and a feminine energy is losing. They are in distress with Lagus, because Berkana and Fehu could mean also feminine energy. And you have your ancestors, and you have spiritual protection. You have spiritual, the spirit guide. The spirit is protecting you. You are protected. So always remember that you are protected. But also too, with Algis being upright, you also have to be careful in how you set boundaries with people too. Like I said with Theresa's, you have created enemies with these boundaries. So you always have to be aware, because you might have to be able, with Theresa's too, you might have to be able to defend yourself too. So you have to always be aware of how you can protect yourself. And with Anzu's here, you also have to put up probably spiritual protection too. Not just physical, but not just physical, but spiritual protection too. So you may need, if you don't know what spiritual protection is, look it up. It's easy to look it up. I have my spray here. I have sage crystals. I have an altar. Just make sure that your spiritual hygiene is up and you're protecting yourself, because you have created enemies with Theresa's. With your boundaries, you have created. But you are protected by your ancestors and the divine. And somebody's in despair because of the boundary that you put up. I hope I got everything. I feel good about this reading. Thank you for listening to my reading. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that if anything else, you can get anything else from it, because I'm sure there's probably something else that you can get from it, because it's a lot of information. This is Guidance Runic Seer, and I will see you guys later. I love you guys. Thank you for listening.